We're going to go straight into the dailies. Let's get into the dailies and see what the papers have for us today. And then we'll make progress, okay? Let's start with the Daily Graphic. The Daily Graphic says, Parliament abolishes e-levy. The bill awaits presidential assent to give effect. All right, so this is a good one. I think this is one of those kind of situations. President nominates 71 MMDCEs for 8 regions. Okay, we have a petition against Chief Justice lawful. It's coming from some lawyers. We have here commercial disputes take 900 days to resolve. Wow. I will read the details on that. I'll bring you the details of that. Commercial disputes take 900 days to resolve. We'll look into that shortly. Rain causes havoc in parts of Accra, and we see some flooded situations, some roofs that have been ripped up. The Medina 1 JHS. We are looking at some trees that are falling down on some other buildings. Accra College of Education. Saw a TikTok video yesterday with their rooms being flooded because the ceiling was dripping with water. Water was coming through onto their beds, on the floor. For me, I was very concerned, but it looks like they anticipated, and so they disconnected all the extension boards and things from the sockets. You know, I was very concerned that, because these kind of situations, when you have water on the floor and you have things connected to power, it's a very dangerous situation. But we'll look into that particular story on the commercial disputes taking 900 days to resolve shortly. Let's go to the Daily Graphic. On the front page of the Daily Graphic, we have President names 72, Ghanaian Times. President names 72 DCEs in 8 regions. Now, Graphic says 71. President says, Ghanaian Times says 72. I wonder what the actual number is and where the other one has disappeared to. So this is pending approval by assemblies, okay? Traditional Council bans drumming, noise-making in Gamashi, May 12th to June 11th, okay? Parliament approves abolition of e-levy, and Ghana ranks high in labor, in utility services, and business insolvency. There's a World Bank report that is being quoted there. On the back page, we have Ghanaians urged to use water efficiently. And NADEF invests over 66 million Ghana cedis in projects as corporate social responsibility. And that's the Newmont Ahafo Development Foundation doing their bit to support Ghanaians. All right, let's go to the Daily Guide. And on the front page, we have Mahama named 71 new MMDCEs for 8 regions. We have NDC not committed to Galamsey fight. And this is the MPP has pictured there, Richard Ahiagba. We have e-levy, gold, betting, lotto taxes gone. All right. April 30th, D-Day for Akwetia MP. Skytrain probe, national security questions Amewu. All right, so those are the headlines that the Daily Guide brought us. Let's take a look at what the New Republic says. Signal Gate scandal. James Bond's lawyer. Let me read it again. Signal Gate scandal. This is NSB is talking about the National Signals Bureau. James Bond's lawyer coup foiled. Atachian's fury as 32 more scramble for booty. Okay, that should be an interesting read. 24-hour fuel stations soon. I think a couple of them are currently running 24. The 24, it was a common thing at a point, but then armed robberies and things sort of made everybody a bit wary. Cabinet gives thumbs up. Mohammed's plan to pull schools and clinics off the national grid for solar power. King of lavish parties, parked accounts, freeze me. Hey. Okay, let me read that again. King of lavish parties, parked accounts freeze, mutes party king. Okay, very interesting and strange headline. Strengthening gold relations for CD stability. And those are the headlines from the New Republic. Let me take you to the day break. Adum fire victims reject Muntaka rise. We have Fidelity Bank MD reaffirms commitment to CSR and SMEs. We have return missing land cruisers, retired generals ordered. And GPHA, GRA strengthen their collaboration. My final paper here is the Daily Democrat. And NACOP nabs British citizen with cannabis. The life and legacy of Benjamin Kwame Arthur, a philanthropist, business icon, and pillar of faith. Edubu Ahine's $7 million scandal, AG on the move. And we have fuel stations to operate 24 hours. EDUG calls for security agency support. And so those are the headlines that we have there. Let me take you to some online stories that we have on citynewsroom.com as well as ChannelOneNews.com. And then we'll get into some details. ChannelOneNews.com. Galamsey, excavators serve multiple purposes. Temporary ban not feasible. This is the lands minister. So he was on The Point of View yesterday with Bernard Avle, and he made that statement there. We have no ill feeling towards judiciary, Mahama speaking. There was a courtesy call yesterday by the judiciary and the legal fraternity. Combating Galamsey to be a top KPI for DCEs. And this is Ama Kofi Boa, the lands minister. Adum fire victims reject Muntaka's food aid. MPP would have repealed laws allowing Galamsey. Ahiangba is asserting there, which I find interesting because the LI 2462, which is still struggling to be repealed, now was laid by them and, passed with all kinds of shenanigans going on there. Anyway, let's go to citynewsroom.com. My government has no animosity towards judiciary, Mahama speaking there. We'll win fight against Galamsey, Ama Kofi Boa is assuring. Ama Kofi Boa again details Mahama government strategy to combat Galamsey. You need to watch that episode of The Point of View. A very, very packed and interesting conversation. We don't want rise. Adum fire victims jeer at Muntaka. Galamsey hasn't deteriorated under Mahama. Isaac Tando speaking there. I'll give you one more. We have Mahama has no role in Chief Justice's removal. This is Dr. Kotijani clarifying. And so those are some of the headlines from citynewsroom.com as well as channelOneNews.com. Let's look at some details. I'll give you the first one from channelOneNews.com. We'll look at that story on the, let me see if I can try and open this thing, on the excavators serving multiple purposes. And so the banning is not feasible, says Ama Kofi Boa. Now, here, this is the story. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa, has rejected calls for a temporary ban on the importation of excavators as a measure to combat illegal mining in Ghana. Speaking on Channel One's The Point of View with Bernard Avle on Wednesday, March 26th, Ama Kofi Boa emphasized that excavators serve multiple purposes beyond mining, making an outright ban impractical. No, you can't ban it. because there are lots of other activities that they are used for. Self-propelled bulldozers with 360 superstructure, which amounted to 6.2 billion Ghana cedis, resulting in 2.5%, were imported in 2024 under the previous administration. Instead, the minister highlighted the need for a robust system to monitor and regulate the use of excavators. He referenced the Minerals Commission's pilot tracking program, which employs geofencing technology to monitor 70 excavators, allowing authorities to track their locations in real time. And I quote, the thing is, we have to put a system in place. Already, the Minerals Commission has a tracking program, and so far, an experimental basis of 70 excavators that they are able to track using geofencing technology to track. And that is working very well. They know exactly 24 hours where the excavator is, Mr. Amobwa stated. Now, he further proposed expanding this tracking system in collaboration with the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority and the Ministry of Transport to ensure comprehensive registration and monitoring of all excavator owners. Additionally, the minister underscored the government's commitment to holding accountable those involved in illegal activities. How do we expand that? And how do we work with the DVLA? In the Ministry of Transport to ensure that we know where every excavator owner who registered it. All right. Ultimately, what we are saying is that working with the Attorney General and the Interior Ministry, if any excavator is caught or coiled in any illegality, we are not only arresting the person, but with the system in place, we go for all the big guys who buy it. Okay, so that's a very bold commitment by the Lands Minister. For me, I still feel like a temporary ban would not have been a bad idea, and a redeployment of the excavators. Because if you're arresting and seizing excavators that are being used in Galamsey, you can redirect their use. As the argument is, they are used for other things. Why not just then resell them to other persons who would then use them properly? All right, let's go to the daily graphic on page 36. We have commercial disputes take 900 days to resolve. 4 times longer than Côte d'Ivoire. This is from a World Bank report. It takes 900 days to resolve a commercial dispute through court litigation in Ghana as against fewer days in other African countries. A Business Ready report on Ghana by the World Bank has revealed. The report says while it took fewer days to resolve commercial cases in other African countries, for instance, 225 days in Côte d'Ivoire, leading to a boost of investor confidence, Ghana's longer period for resolving such disputes caused investments to lag. Conducted by the World Bank's International Financial Corporation, as the IFC, the report further showed that it took 40 hours for firms to prepare, file, and pay taxes in Ghana, as against other countries, for instance, 12 hours in Sierra Leone. The manager of Be Ready unit of the World Bank, Dr. Valeria Perotti, who presented the report in Accra yesterday, added that registering a new business in Ghana costs nearly 42% of gross national income per capita and took 57 days compared to just 4% and 3 days in Rwanda. All right, so there's more to the story. You can go and grab the daily graphic, and it's on page 36. A very interesting read there. All right, I think we need to do better as a people because others have showed that it can be done. So there's no reason why we take the cost of business registration is 42%. It takes 57 days to register. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, sports is next.